It's time to check your money with America's money maven, Vicki Brackens. Vicki Brackens is the president of Brackens Financial Solutions Network, LLC, and a registered representative of LPL Financial, member SIPC. Vicki, we're marching on. in fact, this weather, you want to talk about March Madness and the brackets and all of that? This weather is March Madness.
It is March Madness. And who we have this last few days? 50, 60,
70.
20, 70. I mean, come on. I mean, I appreciate it, but you're right, it's March Madness. And then, George, here's the other thing. Daylight savings time. Oh my God. Daylight savings time for me is so rough.
It's rough. How long does it take you to adjust?
All week. Okay. I never really smoothly just, adjust to it. It's almost like a crash, bang, boom. And then I kind of work my way back into a routine. I don't know if that happens for you, but it really does happen for me. But anyway.
Well, it didn't happen this year. This year, I was good.
You were good this year?
I was good this year. Although I forgot to tell the people it was daylight savings time.
You talking about last Sunday?
Yeah, I forgot to tell y'all. I was like, oh Lord.
I know. Okay. So, but here's one of the things. George, I got a couple things to share with you.
Go ahead.
I can't believe the buzz that we're still having around the cabaret that we had, the 16th annual Black History Month Jazz and Arts Cabaret. People are still coming up to me talking about it. They're still thrilled about what happened. So I've got a couple of things to share with you.
Okay.
First of all, did you get your pictures?
I did not get my pictures yet.
Okay. So if you haven't gotten your pictures, because we did it a little differently this year, we made sure that we made this big collage and had everything available for everyone on our website. So go to www.brackens, BRACKENSFSN.com, and then go over to the tab that says events, and you'll see the Black History Month Jazz and Arts Cabaret. Get yourself a Shutterfly account. You can download everything that you want. You can use it. You can post it. You can frame it. You can make a flag out of it. It's there for you because we, over those last few years, we tried to send out a little bit of a snippets. And so we just decided to put the entire photo album out there for everyone.
I can't go see that.
You need to see that. Okay. Here's the second thing. I need to hear from you because I'm getting comments, but I think I better start actually hearing more about what did you love about the cabaret this year so that we can repeat those things and enhance them for next year. So, George, what did you love most about the cabaret this year?
You had my gumbo. Thank you.
How could I not have your gumbo? You told me 5 times.
You delivered. I asked about this gumbo, and you delivered. Thank you very much.
All right, you're quite welcome. And 5 times. Don't forget my gumbo.
Well, that was the food, but also for the performance, I just thought India was just wonderful. She was open. I was just mesmerized by her playing of the bass. India Owens and Cookout. Just a great party, and it was great. I just really enjoyed that, and we want to. I know people have heard from us, but we want to get that feedback from everybody.
Yes, we do. So please send me a note at info, that's INFO at brackensfsn.com. Tell me what you enjoyed, what you loved about the cabaret, so that when we're getting ready to start planning for 2025, we'll make sure that we continue to incorporate those things that you really love. And by the way, here we go. Drum roll. February 23rd, 2025. Okay. February 23rd, that's the date, 2025. Circle it on your calendar. Buy your tickets in December of 2024. We are selling out faster and faster and faster. So we normally open, and we'll plan to open next year's ticket window in December of 2024. So that's February 23rd, 2025. George, here's another important date. You ready for this one?
I'm ready.
1 month away from tax filing deadline. We're 1 month away. So if you haven't gathered all your documents, you haven't met with your tax preparer, you need to get on the phone tomorrow, get that appointment scheduled and get there with your tax preparer. We talked about this before, that we anticipated that the actual refunds would be smaller this year, or that many individuals may actually have to pay this year. From the anecdotal information and comments that I'm seeing and conversations that I'm having, that is turning out to be true. So I would say, rather than having surprises that last week, get into your tax preparer so that in case you need to go and find some more of your receipts because you didn't bring them all, or some more documentation because you don't have everything available, you're not doing it at the last minute. You have time to make sure that everything is getting filed properly at the time of your filing. Okay, I heard last week, George. You know what I'm doing this week?
What you
I'm going
doing?
through I'm checking off. I'm checking off, okay, over the last month.
This is
I heard what'd you say?
Go ahead.
I heard last week when you had your interview with the Lender Center, okay, for Social Justice over at SU, that symposium that's coming up on the 28th through the Whitman School concerning generational wealth. Let me tell you how important that I found that subject. I'm taking off the whole day and going and spending the entire day there at the Lender Center, because I think the conversations and the expertise that, at least reading through the program and the registration information, that's going to be speaking and having conversations and collaborating that day is tremendous. So for anyone who has the time or can make the time to get there, because I know that they want a lot of public input into that conversation, please put onto your calendar March 28th, starts there at 9 o'clock. They're at the Lender Center at the Whitman Business School there on SU's campus. Are you planning to go, George?
Well, you making me think it's urgent that I do be there now. and just to reiterate, they're exploring, they're interrogating, right? That's the academic language.
Right.
Interrogating the racial wealth gap, but from an angle of not just interrogating from an academic standpoint, they're also having community response. So it's not just the eggheads, if you will, on the campus, just giving their white paper and all of that. They're also presenting some stuff, and then they're going to have some community leaders from different walks of life and discipline respond or be a part of other discussions. So Vicki, I had it planned on going, but now you got me like all twisted up. I got to go now.
Well, I think if you can get there, you should, because the first of all, having more ears in the room to hear what's being said and for us to have conversations in the future would be good. And also to have more voices from the community to engage with, as you call them, the eggheads, but the academics on what they have found is going to be important. And I think the question that you asked last week on air, I don't know if everybody heard it, was, we've done this before, why are we doing it again?
Right.
That was my way of synthesizing or distilling what you said.
Right.
It's like, why are we doing this again? We know this information. We know about the policy structure. We know about the discrimination. So why are we doing this again? I want to hear that answer next week, because they've now had a week since the time that you asked the question as to why now, why are we doing this again when we already know what the policy output has been concerning economic injustice throughout the policies of the country, in banking, in business, in housing. Why now are we doing this again?
You know why they're doing it, Vicki? Because you've been talking about this for the past 4 or 5 years. That's why they're doing this now. And so they're basically catching up to what you've been saying. They actually heard you and said, you know what? Vicki been talking about this. We better put it.
Thank you, George. Okay.
We better put it in. But if you look over the years, the theme has been consistent. Zero, no more.
Mm-hmm.
Building generational wealth, and using all of our assets and resources and understanding what the difference is between broke and poor and thriving and surviving, all of these things, right? So this has been an ongoing conversation that we've had to at least provide people with information, right? And even, one of the more I think powerful shows, in a simple way, I'll say, is when you talked about what's right at our disposal in terms of transferring wealth through generations. And you talked about basic insurance is one way to do that, right? And people don't even think of that. And you came up with all these different ways to think about that. So I'm saying all that to say they finally heard you, Vicki, and they said we're gonna. In all seriousness, we're joking around, folks. I want to ask you to come. Well, we didn't get it from Vicki. We did it, but to let you, I thought you would say something about what. Let's go back. So you and I were at a dinner. We were at dinner Friday, and at this dinner, Melanie Littlejohn made she implored those who were at the dinner to really reiterate that the Micron. So we don't want to be. You said this too. We don't want to be on the other side of this, looking at what happened.
What happened? No way.
We don't want to be on that side of it. So she was basically the deadline has already passed for participation.
Well, at least one of them.
One
the initial deadline, right?
Yeah. Right.
On the comment period,
The comment period, right? The work continues, but just like Vicki said, we have to be at the table getting the information. She couldn't stress it enough. Melanie Littlejohn is the co-chair of the Micron Community Engagement Committee, and now also the president of the Central New York Community Foundation. And so the one thing I did want people to do is sign up. Speaking of being at the table, Vicki, this is going to be a half-hour segment by the time we finish.
Okay.
One of the things that she asked us to do, or the Community Foundation asked us to do, they're having listening sessions all across the community, right? So they're having one at Salt City Market. They're having one at Community Folk Arts Center. They're going to have one at the Southside Innovation Center. Those are the ones in Onondaga County. And then they're going to have one in Madison County. Go to cnycf.org and sign up for one of those sessions. The first session at Salt City Market is already sold out, right? So they encourage you to sign up for the next one, which is at Community Folk Arts Center. Now, I don't have the dates in front of me, but give me a second, Vicki. Give us something else while I get those dates.
Okay. Well,
and I'll help people out. But they're looking for our participation. When I say our, I mean community. But you know what I'm talking about, and you know who I'm talking about. Go ahead.
Well, and as far as having our community get involved, the one of the other things that Melanie emphasized, and they've emphasized quite heavily lately, is that for people like you and me, George, because of the timeline for the full development of the Micron build out and the growth in the economy, which you're anticipating being about 20 years, we're on the long end of that 20 years.
Right.
They need to see more faces that are 25 and 30, 35 years old in the rooms having these conversations, because you are going to live and be most impacted by the changes and the structures and the new policies that are being put in place to grow this economy, grow this community for the next 3, 4, 5 centuries. Generations. I don't want to say centuries, because we're not doing 500 years, but generations. Find the dates, George?
I am looking for them. Hold on.
Okay. All right. But anyway, okay. The other thing I wanted to absolutely make sure though that we had some
I got the dates.
Okay, go ahead.
All right. So the first one is going to be on Monday, on March 26th at I think that's a Friday actually. What date is that? What day of the week is that? March 26th.
26th is going to be, I don't know, Monday.
So we got March 26th. So we got March 26th, which is a
Yeah, that's a
Tuesday.
Tuesday.
A
Okay.
Tuesday, right? That's going to be at Soul City Market. Then on April 3rd, that's going to be at the Community Folk Arts Center. Oh, the one
Okay.
in Soul City can be from 2 to 4. April 3rd from 4:30 to 6:30. 4:30 to 6:30
Wednesday.
on a Wednesday. And then April the 10th, which is another Wednesday, it'll be Southside Innovation Center from 4 to 6. And then on April the 18th, which is a Thursday, they're going to be in Madison County at the Arts at the Palace. So those are 4 sessions. So we got time. You have to sign up for those sessions at cnycf.org.
All right. Yeah. So we want to make sure that everybody participates in those things and fully
those sessions are specifically about what are the concerns of the community that the CNY Community Foundation, as a philanthropic organization, can prioritize. Once again, if you're not in the room, your voice can't be heard. All right, Vicki.
Well, here's the thing. I'm going to add one thing to being in the room.
Go ahead.
Okay. So we need to be in the room. We need to be at the table, and we need to take something from the table.
Okay.
Here's where we're going this year. And not only do we need to be in the room, we need to be at the table, and we need to take something from the table. Our conversation is going to elevate some this year. And one of the things I want to elevate is not only talk about creation of generational wealth, but the sustaining and transfer, because we can create it. And in fact, you know what I was looking at? We've actually created it. We don't recognize it. We're going to talk about really how to recognize the wealth that you've created already. But now that we've created it, how do we sustain it and transfer?
All right.
George, I love it. Okay, these are our topics for the next several months. We've got some workshops coming up. So I'm going to start announcing dates next week. So I'm employing everybody, when you come to listen to us next week, bring your calendars and bring some paper and pencil, because you need to make sure that you know how to sign up for some of these workshops, where we'll be looking at generational wealth, and not only creating it, but sustaining it and transferring it through some of the workshop programs that we have. All right. I think at this point in time, I get to say our plate is full. If you have questions, give me a call at area code 315-930-4499. Don't forget to write us at info@brackensfsn.com. We want to hear about how you, what you enjoyed, and what things or questions or inspirations you have for us concerning the cabaret for next year. And share and subscribe to this podcast, okay, and to this and to our YouTube channel. So at this point in time, George, I will say our plate is full.
And I have one more thing to say, Vicki.
Oh.
Not only tell them about the cabaret, but also ask her about the business. Okay, I done said that. Vicki Brackens is the president of Brackens Financial Solutions Network, LLC, and a registered representative of LPL Financial, member SIPC. She is America's Money Maven.